Gamers, I've got two exciting things for you. Firstly, some more exciting techs for Mimighoul, and secondly, my first deck profile. Let's get into this. Hey, howdy, hey gamers, welcome back. So, I've got some things I want to go ahead and share with you overall about the Mimighoul archetype and the kinds of things that we can go ahead and expect for our some different techs that I was able to find and discover that have really piqued my interest. First of all, I want to go ahead and give a huge shout out to all of you in the comments. You all have made my channel kind of blow up for my latest video. I really do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and talk in depth now about the thing that you're all here about, Mimighoul. So, as I said in the last video, I think that one of the biggest cards that we're going to be seeing in used as a tech option is Swords of Revealing Light. This card being able to activate and trigger all of your Mimighouls that you set to your opponent's field on your first turn and utilize those two level 1 monsters automatically can be quite a big boost to your eventual push. Sol and Luna being a quick play to flip up your opponent's monsters whenever you would like is also a big factor, even at the downside of having to set one of your cards. If you can find a card that you would like to go ahead and be free to feel free to set face down, it still is good enough and well worth the effort. All of the Vernisylphs, with all the Mimighouls being Earths, are quite important. Yeah, all of the Mimighouls being Earths are quite important, so all of these would be a great addition to a different kind of deck, as well as Kashtira Fenrir being able to trigger off of whatever your opponent does, as well as I would think Kashtira Unicorn could be useful as well. Because Kashtira Unicorn can activate and trigger off of this, but if you're running in the Vernisylph version, I wouldn't run Unicorn just because you're looking to go and keep as many Earths as possible. It is by far, without a doubt, the best flip monster you can also get off of Maker is Fire Sorcerer. Being able to randomly hand rip your opponent for 2, and adding a Mimighoul to your field is great, and even if it becomes the case where a Fire Sorcerer is not, you miss the 50-50, you can still go into it via Geonator Transverser to transfer that monster to that zone you would like, and the other place in where you would like as well. So I think that that is good enough. You also have the activation of the talents and triple tactics talents and triple tactics thrust whenever you would like. Your best spell to set off of thrust, and keep in mind thrust would not be able to go ahead and add that turn because that monster, while it did activate that turn, they no longer control a monster. It's probably a trap card, and probably the best normal trap you can get for advantage later is Reverse Reuse. This trap card is crazy. It's exactly what you want. Target up to 2 flip monsters in your graveyard, special summon them to your opponent's field in face up or face down defense position. Why not? I think that this card is going to be a good option to give to set up your other Mimighouls after you've utilized them as their resources as well. Lastly, I want to go ahead and talk about 2 important ninja techs, Ninjutsu Art of Dancing Leaves and Ninjutsu Art Notebook of Mystery. Notebook of Mystery requires your opponent to control a card, meaning that if you're able to get off Hanzo and you are able to go ahead and protect yourself from, first off, Imperm, when you have these, so your Hanzo normal is great. Adding or having a copy of Mystery in hand already allows for you to go ahead and set another spell, trap, or a ninja monster already from the deck, or if you already go through your combo plays, from graveyard as well. And the other option, Ninjutsu Art of Dancing Leaves can target any face-down defense position monster on the field, meaning that the Mimighouls that are on your opponent's field, if they do not flip it and you have no way to flip it, you can at very least get Dancing Leaves advantage off of tributing that monster, so you could still get that effect off. I think that's going to be really good. And, of course, importantly to note, Terraforming will be able to search Mimighoul Dungeon, which is exactly what you would want, because you could just add another Mimighoul from deck to hand, even without the rest of the other effects on there. Yeah, no, I really like this. Keep in mind that Dungeon being able to buff your opponent's buff your monsters the turn afterwards, no matter what, or if they were flip face up, being able to buff all of them is going to be really important to remember for all of your monsters. Another one I want to go ahead and keep in mind, if you don't want to use the Kashtira monsters, Dragon can of course be searched off of Bestial Magnamut. And Magnemite is going to be utilized heavily, I think, in this next upcoming format because of all the Fiendsmith stuff to banish lights that you're going to be targeting, and you're going to have a monster on the field already, so I think that Magnemite is well worth it. That being said, there's another engine I want to go ahead and discuss for the rank ups, for the extra deck. Ghost Trick Doulahan is a rank 1 that can be easily placed underneath Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief, which allows you to, if detached, adds a Ghost Trick spell trap for your deck to your hand. This means you can play one single copy of Ghost Trick Shot in order to then activate and special summon a Ghost Trick from your hand or graveyard, then change one face down to Ghost Trick control, face up attack. You don't need to worry about that second part. You don't need to worry about that second part. All you need to do is detach the Doulahan for Mischief's cost, bring out a second Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief, and then overlay those two into Utopic Future and Utopic Draco Future. That is great, and then of course you can go into Downer Magician alongside Zeus, and I think that this deck is going to be utilizing Zeus pretty heavily with this card, Lyrilusc Assembled Nightingale. 2+ level 1 monsters gain 200 attack for each material attached to it, and this card can attack directly, while its material can attack number of times each battle phase up to the number of materials attached to it. Meaning that with Assembled Nightingale, this is able to poke in and then rank up into Downard into Zeus for a 2-time activation Zeus whenever you would like, and I think that it's well worth it to play two copies of this if the extra deck is not tight as well. That's all going to depend on what you're willing to go ahead and play. For the Vernisylphs, it is recommended you play a lot of different Earths, and I think some of the best monsters you can end on Earths include Soldier of Chaos for pushes. Cross Sheep could be utilized well if you are willing to play the engine I described last video with playing Lone Fire into Instant Fusion into Master of Ham, being able to bring back a fusion, bring back any of your level 4 lowers. Donner Dagger for Hire is uniquely good for this archetype because all these are different types. And another card you're going to go ahead and see in my deck profile that is coming up right after this is also important to go ahead and note. You can always go ahead and make Apo even with all of these different monsters. These Earth monsters are negating them. The effect it is not an effect that is applied when Apo gains attack. It is simply the original attack becomes the number of link materials used for this link summon, meaning that you can go ahead and bring out as many as you'd like to bring out Apo, and you don't have to worry about it coming out with 0 or anything. It is just fine there. Beauregard Dragon is a fantastic link 4 with 3+ effect materials. Its main reason why is its effect right here. Once per turn, you can target one monster on the field, change it to face-up defense position. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect to activation. Meaning that it's a guaranteed activation of any of your Mimighouls, of Dragon, Cerberus, or Archfiend. Now, with all of that being said and all of that out of the way... Oh! And also we got King Nagashi Fucho, just to help protect you, keep you alive a little bit longer with your 2/1s in case you want to go ahead and live a little bit longer. And I think that there is one embodiment of Crime and Punishment. These two activate effects where once per turn, during either player's turn, detach one Xyz material, change all monster opponent controls to face-up attack position as rank 1s. Both these have the same effect, and while you control the other version of themselves, can be destroyed by battle card effect. Your opponent takes any damage you would take for attacks with this card, so it would have been the same thing. You need both of them on the field in order to activate that, but it's not a requirement to activate that effect by having both up to bring them out. So you could go into 13 or 31, whichever is your choice, to eventually flip up all your opponent's monsters using only rank 1s. Now with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into my personal pick for the new Mimighoul deck, and that is D&D. So the idea behind this deck, Dungeons and Dragons, is that you are an adventurer with the Water Empress, Enchantress of the Temple, alongside Fenrir in order to activate these effects after they respond, and you're going to require the Griffin Rider as well as Wright in order to activate and go into your rank up plays, maybe into some links. The extra deck is very finicky right now. I can't afford SP. It would probably be in there if you wanted to go ahead and do that, but I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound. I'm playing budget. I'm not going to go ahead and go that far, but not at least until the reprints come out. So you have Archfiend at 3 of. I think that Archfiend and Dragon are 3 ofs just because their effects on normal or special are fantastic. And I think that Cerberus is the weakest monster out of all the flip effects, only because what it gives you is, 1, random, and it can miss, so there's really no point into going ahead and going exactly into whatever they bring out. It's probably just for link material. And 2, its secondary effect is applied not on normal or special, meaning that Cerberus effect, being able to protect your face-up spell cards, means that a few cards are protected. For 1, Swords of Revealing Light is protected, as well as your Mimighoul Dungeon. And finally, your Fateful Adventure and Dracoback the Rideable Dragon are protected. Your last back row with 1, 2, 3 cards in the back row being face-up spell cards, and the last 2 being the set card of There Can Be Only One. The reason why, simple enough: Psychic, Fiend, Beast, Dragon, Zombie, Winged Beast, Spellcaster, and Fairy on right. You could also go ahead and, if you'd like to, utilize the Ghost Trick engine if you would like. If you find the extra deck slots aren't exactly where you'd like right now, I feel like there's a lot of flexibility you can put into the extra deck, which is rare. But yeah, this current version has a light emphasis on the specific Fiendsmith archetype. I know that as Fiendsmith is becoming more and more and more meta relevant, that this kind of deck is more budget, casual friendly. You know, this isn't going to be the most competitive version of this deck. However, I do think that Adventure is going to be one of the best ones to start off with. It's very budget right now. All these cards are not expensive, especially in the current format, with Snake Eyes being the best deck and that being a normal summon. But also it can utilize a ton of different options, and honestly, you probably could win games off of drawing There Could Be Only One off rip. If you're really thinking that this is not the move, or there might be some other versions of a deck you want me to go ahead and try, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to go ahead and hear more about that. I personally am really excited to go ahead and test out and try new versions of this specific archetype when I get those cards in my hands this coming Wednesday. That all being said, yeah, I think that's pretty much going to go ahead and be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do like this kind of content, please be sure to hit a like and subscribe if you want to see more content similar to this. My name is Doc Conrad Yugioh, and if you stuck around here, you might as well hit subscribe. I mean, come on, you dealt with my voice already. You might as well go ahead and watch a little bit more. We're getting real close to when we hit 1K to actually getting monetized. That'd be great. Anyway, I will talk to you all in the next video. Take care, everybody. See ya.